Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, passion for excellence.
Here are today's top headlines. GM posts a $6 billion first quarter loss. Chrysler offers massive incentives, and a look at the Cadillac SRX. Up next, we'll be back with the news behind the headlines. This is Autoline Daily for Thursday, May 7th, 2009, and now the news. GM reported its first quarter earnings, and while the numbers are in line with analyst expectations, it's still a shock to see them. GM's revenue fell by $20 billion, a 47% decline to just a little over $22 billion. The company ended up losing $6 billion for the quarter and had $10 billion in negative cash flow, and now only has $11.6 billion in total cash and securities. GM CEO Fritz Henderson says these numbers show why the company must quickly adopt its revised viability plan to lower its break-even point. In related news, GM's expected to announce that it will begin reducing the number of dealers it has in the U.S. market by 2,600. The AP reports it's expected to quickly force 1,200 of those dealers out of business for failing to meet capital requirements, sales goals, or customer satisfaction scores. Car sales in the UK fell 25% last month, and part of the reason they fell has to do with the country's Cash for Clunkers program, which is a £2,000 incentive, or about $3,000. The program does not start until May 18th, and many car buyers are holding off until then. Hey, if you can't sell cars, sell real estate. Renault will sell buildings in Europe in an effort to raise money. According to Wards, Renault could raise about €1 billion because it plans to sell 138 buildings. And Ford wants to talk with the UAW about modifying its labor agreement, even though the union just agreed to concessions in March. According to the Detroit Free Press, Ford wants the same concessions the UAW gave Chrysler last week. And Chrysler had a terrible sales month in April too, so now it's offering up to $6,000 in incentives in an effort to jumpstart sales. The company will offer up to $4,000 on 2009 vehicles, another grand for current owners, that's good towards most 2008 models as well, and another grand for those who finance their vehicles through a participating credit union. Autoblog reports Lexus will debut a compact 5-door hatchback at the Frankfurt Auto Show. It's sized to compete with the BMW 1 Series and Audi A3, and the new model would be built on the same architecture and share the same powertrain as the HS 250h hybrid, but it's only going to be sold in Europe. More news on the alt-fuel front. The Department of Energy announced a $787 million program to stimulate biofuel research and production. The money's coming from President Obama's American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. The goal is to jumpstart alt-fuel production and reduce America's thirst for imported oil. Autoblog reports the reborn Chevy Camaro is so popular right now, GM had to add another shift to keep up with demand. Orders are expected to be strong enough to keep the line in Oshawa, Ontario plant running on overtime through August, but the car already faces its first recall. About 300 Camaros with V8s have a battery cable that can rub against the starter and short out. Coming up next, a look at the totally redesigned 2010 Cadillac SRX. We'll be back right after this.
Changing tires out here could be dangerous, but with these tires, I don't need to worry.
Bridgestone.
When the Cadillac SRX hits showroom floors later this year, not only will it sport a new design, but it's going to be smaller and sleeker looking than the previous model. The previous SRX could seat up to 7 with a third row. For 2010, seating will only be for 5. The 2010 model is shorter in height, width, and length. The sleeker exterior design is highlighted by a character line that runs down the length of the body. The front end features a chrome grille and Cadillac's signature vertical headlamps. And adding to the sleeker look is an integrated spoiler in the rear that helps enhance aerodynamics. Inside is what you would expect in a Cadillac. Hand-cut and sewn coverings accent the instrument panel, and ambient lighting enhances the look. And to help give a cleaner look, the navigation system rises from the center of the instrument panel. Under the hood, the SRX is available with two V6 engines. A new 3-liter direct injection engine is standard, and a 2.8-liter turbo is optional. Both engines are equipped with 6-speed transmissions. Final numbers aren't official, but the 3-liter is expected to get 10 to 15% better fuel economy than the engine it replaces, while getting 10 more horsepower. It also features an eco mode to help improve economy by altering transmission shift points. Stability and handling is enhanced on the SRX by an all-new all-wheel drive system, which includes an electronic slip differential that distributes torque as needed from side to side along the rear axle, as well as from the front to rear. Safety features like head and side curtain airbags, roll mitigation sensors, and trailer stability assist are standard. And since this car will be sold in Europe, it meets pedestrian protection standards there. It's got all the amenities that you'd expect, too, like 3D imaging with the nav system, integrated hard disk, and a dual-screen rear seat entertainment. Pricing, though, has not yet been announced. And that's it for today's top news in the global automotive industry, but don't forget to visit our website again tonight for another edition of Autoline After Hours. Jason Vines and Peter DeLorenzo are joining me in the studio for another unfiltered and unscripted episode. Things kick off at 7 p.m. Eastern or 2300 GMT, so check it out at our website, AutolineDetroit.com. Anyway, that is it for today's show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Visit our website for even more great content all week long. Autoline Extra, Dawn's Journal, podcasts, and even more. So click over and get the inside view at AutolineDetroit.tv.